Good morning, Miss Parker. How are you today?
Good morning, Mr. Johnson. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
It really is. So, what subject are you teaching today?
I have an English literature class this morning. It's one of my favorites to teach. What about you?
I'm teaching history today. I love telling stories about past events. The students really get into it.
That's wonderful. History can be so engaging when you bring it to life.
Absolutely. Speaking of students, don't you think they behave so differently compared to when we were in school?
Oh, yes. Back in our day, students were quieter and more respectful. But today's students are more outspoken and curious, which can be a good thing.
I agree. I like how they ask questions, but sometimes they get a bit distracted with their phones.
Tell me about it. I'm always reminding them to put their phones away, but I guess it's part of their world now.
True. By the way, how's everything going with the principal?
Pretty good, actually. She's supportive and listens to our concerns. How about your experience?
I feel the same way. Our principal is approachable and values our input, which makes a big difference.
Definitely. Having a good boss really makes our job easier.
Speaking of jobs, how do you feel about the salary? Do you think teachers in the U.S. are paid fairly?
Honestly, I think teachers deserve more. We put in so much work, and it often goes unnoticed. What do you think?
I completely agree. Between grading papers, planning lessons, and handling classroom management, it feels like a 24/7 job sometimes.
Exactly. But at least I love what I do. It makes the long hours worth it.
Same here. By the way, how do you get to school every morning?
I drive. It's about a 20-minute commute. What about you?
I take the bus. It's a bit longer, but I don't mind. It gives me time to read.
That's nice. What time do you usually arrive at school?
I get here around 7:30 a.m.
Same. I arrive at 7:15 a.m. and use the quiet time to organize my lessons.
What time do you usually leave?
Around 4 p.m., unless there's a meeting or after-school activity. You?
About the same, but on Fridays, I try to leave earlier if I can.
Smart idea. Well, it's almost time for class to start.
Yes, it is. It was great chatting with you, Miss Parker.
You too, Mr. Johnson. Have a great class.
Thanks. You too.